Welcome to the channel where all you gotta do is, well, continue working on the Sharnoa to try and get it operational. So, I've done a little bit more work here. The stuff is mainly tidied. I mean, not tidied, good enough, but the wires aren't getting short on anything. I did replace this guy because the original breaker that I got, the contactor that I got, was a latching. So, my mistake. That's a non-latching. So now when you hit the E-stop, it turns power off to the DC. So, I may rethink how I'm turning the power off just so it's better, but that's why I haven't tidied the wires yet, because I haven't decided exactly how I want to do it. So that's kind of ready to rip. I also pulled off the cover here, so this is the limit switch cam. There's right and left limit switches there and there. There's also ones inside here, and the Y-axis there, right here. There's the switch. So anyways, I'm going to do like I said I was going to do, and turn this thing on and hope for the best. So first thing you do is turn this on with no loads. And the reason I'm doing this, I've been turning this on with this open. But I'm checking about electricity, so that's why that. If any sparks try to shoot out of there or whatever, I don't think they will, but safety first, so that's the noise that thing makes. So that's okie dokie, and then this puts power into the cabinet with that main switch. And then now this monitor has power, but the computer's not turned on. So now I can hear the oil pump running. That'll stay on 4 minutes until I decide what I'm going to do to rewire it. So, and I've been running that quite a bit. You can see there's oil dripping out of things here and there. So that's good. This thing's been sitting a while, so I took it apart and kind of cleaned it up a little bit. But everything looked pretty wet with oil, and I mean, this is kind of rusty, but we'll clean that up before we put it back together. But so this guy, I also hung the lights up 47 different ways because visibility not so great. Alright, so I'll walk you through what I'm doing. Makes me easier to see with that light on. So I'll open up the K-motion. Okay, and then I'm going to hit M5. Okay, I'm going to run the initialization program. Okay, so that's not working. So I'm going to go to digital input output. Emergency stops in, so that's why that's not working. Close that. And that was the contacting you heard. And let those tubes warmed up a little bit. Okay, that's spindle on. No brakes, so it kind of slows down pretty slow. But that's good, I think. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, so bear with me. Alright, so I clicked on 23 through 25. So now, M3. And that works. M7, that should make her click. Okay. And then this should turn the coolant pump on. I hear something happening, but I don't know what it is, so okay. So far, nothing bad. So now I'm going to run the C program and push the initialization button here. And have my finger on this e-stop button because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't see anything happening. Oh. Y-axis is moving. But these aren't. Push this button in here. Will it stop? Oh, look at that, it worked. I stopped it before it got to all the way to the end. Oh, but okay, so it just kept going. Because you gotta stay on that stop switch before it can find it. Okay, so this is good. It's zeroing the y-axis. I got another. Wow. It's got a long way to go to get to the switch. Looks like it's going to run out of travel over here. Going around to get the index. That's weird that that thing falls all the way off the end there. Going really slow now, but it's still moving. Coming up on 0 at the top, so that's interesting. Okay, now X is moving, looky there. This seems promising. Still moving over here. Okay, that one looks like it stopped. Alright, so all these are green, so that means it succeeded. So, I push these jog buttons here, it should move. Look at there. Holy shit, that man. I have a CNC! Woo! Okay, let's go Y minus. Look at that. It's kind of slow, but that's okay. I'm on slow motion here. Okay. Let's go more faster. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so let's try Z minus. Yeah. think, I can't believe it, but I don't know if you can see that. Turn this light off, maybe that'll work better. So all these guys are green now, and I can jog. I can't use any of this stuff yet. I'll have to science that out later, but I can use these buttons. Cool. I am stoked. I've been putting this off for like years, literally years. I don't really like that. I'm going to build a box around that, put a fan on it, something. But I also want to kind of get here and clean all that. So these ones seemed fine, but that one there is exposed to some, icky stuff. So I'm going to take some of this guy, razor blade, move the knee up and down, blah, blah, blah. I'll turn it off, of course, because this thing could, start moving in any minute and crush me to death, so I don't really want that. But, holy crap, man, this thing works. I've also done some stuff in here. Did a little bit of tidying. This is tidying, believe it or not, but basically I got all these power cables that are 100 miles long, so I just kind of zip tied them up and, made everything so it's less of a hardware store nightmare in there. Wow. So I'm going to do a couple more things. I'm going to clean the rust off of that guy. The light that was on here was 24 volts, so I can't really hook that up, so I bought a 110 volt jobber, so I'll put that on there. The other thing that I need to do is see where this has a circle and it says fan. Yeah, there's no fan there. So I bought a fan, I got to drill a hole in there, and that's the rectifier bridge thingy. And then I got to do something with this. I got to science out. I think I'm just going to have it turn on with the spindle right now, and then that'll work for most of my situations. But this is me being excited. Probably put some coolant in there. Maybe some cleaner, detergent, something or other, because I don't know what's in there. But I think I hear the coolant pump running when I turn the switch on. So that's good. And then after I get all this junk cleaned up, I'll try to run a program. Make some chips or something. Make sure my servos are properly propered and stuff. Calibrated and whatnot. So, milestone. Excellent. Okay, got all that. Got all of it. A lot of the rest cleaned off. I did notice that this is broken right here. Big old crack. Maybe I'll take that off and weld it. Who knows? And when I was taking the weight cover off, I found this ball bearing on the floor. No idea what that's from. Probably nothing. So, then I got my new light temporarily mounted here. Makeshifty. So the other thing I got to do is, this thing was moved all the way that way for weight and balance reasons, because we had to pick it up like that, put it on the trailer. So now, as you can see, the spindle's not out far enough to reach the table, so I'm going to have to shift that way. And as you can tell, I knew that was a thing because I left a giant hole in the roof. So I need to loosen up those bolts over here. That one and that one. And then slide this thing forward. I cleaned all the yuck out of there as best I could. I got to do some of this stuff on the back side because there's a little bit of surface rust on it. So I'll do that and I'll get this thing moved. And yeah, then we'll get to hooking this up and Yay! This ain't no Bridgeport. Ay, ay, ay. These are heavy. There's enough. Okay, so I'm going to put this thing in the middle of travel. So I believe it's about 200 millimeters. So $199, that's close. And then I'm going to put the spindle head right there-ish. I think this thing's got 16 millimeters. Oh, it might have more than that actually. This is like 8. Don't really want to go in there. Yeah. Probably got 18 inches of travel on Y. So, another millimeter or another 25 millimeters? Alright, 225. Seems good. We can always change this if we need to. Doesn't seem anywhere near in the middle of travel. It's pretty close to the center of that though. I think this thing has more travel than it has table, which is kind of backwards. I still got clearance up here, so that's good. And this has a little scale on it. It goes from 0 to 400 millimeters, and it's only at like 90. So I'm going to put this at 100, nice even number. Switch this back down. Every time I move this thing, there's more barnacles falling off of it. It's fine. Clean it off. Drop some more whey lube on it. This thing's been sitting a long time, so I want to kind of overdo it on lubrication just for a little while. All leaks out of the bottom of these machines anyway, so box weight machines are kind of like that. In an effort to see what's going on here, I think what I'm going to do next is put an indicator on here and see if a millimeter there is a millimeter here. Because I don't think I ever checked that. So let me get that set up and we'll learn together whether it's FUBAR or not. Keep schmutz off the ways. Alright, let me get an indicator. See if I can get my camera in here to get a decent-ish shot of this. I honestly don't know what's going on here. think you can see that. I got it set at 0.1, so that's 0.1 millimeters. That's a half a millimeter. It looks like 19 thou. Okay, well that looks good. That's 1 millimeter. 2 millimeter. Yep. That's 118 thou. That's correct. Let's go to 25.4. I'm going to move 10 millimeter increments now. And then I'll go to 0.1. So that should be an inch. It's like 1 inch and 8/10. I'm going to call that close enough for my work. And I can always put cutter comp in there and stuff like that to science out. Now I'm assuming all the axes are going to work the same, which maybe that's not a good assumption, but that's the assumption I'm going to make. So, I'm super stoked. I got a working CNC along with my GZ lathe and the GZ manual mill with a digital readout, welders and English wheels, and so I don't have any excuses not to get that Mustang and Bronco done. Let me think on it. I'll come up with something.